And welcome to another edition of Chatting with the Cougars, where it gives us an opportunity to catch up with all of the head coaches in the College of Charleston athletic program. And today, a special guest, Robin Harmony, the head women's basketball coach here at the college, joining us. And Coach, first of all, so good to see you. Seems like I hadn't seen you since, well, March, Coach, and I guess that's about right.
That's about it. It's been a while. It's just we're locking down and, not really going out too much, but it's good to finally see you again, and hopefully we can get back to normal real soon.
Now, I know, Coach, if I'm not mistaken, you guys did not even get an opportunity to start your conference tournament. Is that correct?
Well, unfortunately, we did. We played our first round games, the 7 and 10 and 8 and 9, and then the very next day is when it got canceled. So we played a little bit of it.
Well, Coach, it's a tough situation right now. All of college athletics going through this pandemic. And I guess, Coach, for you and your program, just what has it been like for you and your team since the news came down that basically everything was stopped and even classes on campus?
Yeah, well, we found out on that Thursday. We were getting ready to watch the noon game with they were 5 minutes into tip-off, and they told them, nope, we're going to pull you, just because they didn't think it was a safe situation. And then we had a team meeting on Thursday, and then Friday they all left to go home, with their families to be safe, and, not really knowing when we'd come back. I guess we were being positive and thinking, oh, we'll be back in a couple weeks. But, it ended up being week after week, and, they stayed home and started some online classes, and actually they did very well. Really proud of them.
Coach, talk about some of the challenges of not having your girls on campus. I know you're one of those hands-on coaches. You enjoy your team. Talk about just the challenges of not being able to have them come to your office or get these ladies in the gym.
Yeah, that's 7 weeks. We were going to take off, 2 to 3 weeks just to rest our body, because we have been going since last summer in June. And, we like to take off and come back right after the women's Final Four, which would have been that first week of April, and, go back on our 8 hours with individuals and conditioning and lifting weights. And, it just didn't happen. So it's strange, especially, when you've done this for, 30 some years, that's been the routine. Do I think that we needed a couple of weeks break as coaches? Obviously we did, because with myself, Randy, and Cameron, we moved here and hit the ground running because we had to relocate. Asia didn't have to go as far from North Carolina to South Carolina. So we literally didn't stop until, we were made to stop, and by not being able to come into work with the pandemic. So, it's strange for us, but, it's the new normal now. And, it's just a matter of being positive and keeping busy and waiting to get back in there again to work with our kids, because we know that, we had a pretty good year considering what was in the past, by winning the games that we won. And, it's just, we just can't wait to get them back on campus, but we want to make sure that we do it the proper way and make sure it's safe. And, when they let us know.
Coach, you talk about wanting to get the girls back because of the excitement in the program. And I can honestly say, Coach, this past season was very enjoyable to see the girls play. I know it's a process when you're taking over a program and trying to build it the right way. Your thoughts about your first year at Charleston and where you feel like you are in terms of that building blocks for this basketball program?
Well, I'm in a situation where I didn't have the luxury of seeing it like it has been before. But everybody that has watched us play in the past, had nothing but compliments to say about what we've done. And it is changing the culture, and it is getting the kids to compete and play for 40 minutes. That was the biggest thing that would bother me, that, maybe we didn't win all the games that we should have. And I really think that we should have won about 3 more games. But, they never gave up. They never quit. They always fought. And, they are changing who they are as people. And it's a matter of what culture that we're setting. And, our kids, they put on a pretty good show. We went 13-16, which means that, we won more games than they did the last 2 years with 7 and 3. So we've set some milestones. With me, I had baby goals that I wanted to reach. And one of it was to win 10 games, and when you hit that, you check it off. And, it's just, you want to do better than you've done before in the past. And, our kids, they want to win, but before that, they didn't really know what it took to win, because they would just say, oh, we'll win. Oh, great. And I didn't realize that probably until the first couple games that we won, because we'd win and they'd be like, oh yeah, we won. I'm like, huh? Oh, we lost. It was the same expression. I'm like, wait a minute. There's a big difference. There's winning and there's misery. And I'm going to show you, what it is, and then they decided, okay, this feels really good when we win a game. And when we don't really enjoy practice as much the next week. So they started to get that competitive drive of setting their goals and getting them. And, and if you really look at our starters, with the exception of Deja Ford, which started on and off, we started a lot of times 4 sophomores and a freshman, or 3 sophomores and 2 freshmen. So we were still young. And then coming off the bench, we had a little bit more senior leadership helping us. But, it's the right start. And, I'm happy. I'm proud of what these kids have done. And, it's just the beginning.
Coach, you talk about the girls that you have coming back. 2 of them that really caught my eye this year, Coach, Erin Eady as well as Latrice Perkins. And I know you also have a solid point guard as well coming back. Talk about the ladies that you have coming back next year, Coach.
Well, with Erin Eady, it's, if you look at how she played as a freshman to her sophomore year, it's day and night. And, if you say, what's Edie's ceiling? I don't know, because I don't even think she's gotten close to reaching her ceiling. I know that she can play almost 40 minutes. She doesn't get in foul trouble. She's a double-double machine. She's a rebounder. This unbelievable. She just has a knack, and can rebound. When you're looking at with Dennis Rodman, which we've been seeing in the Last Dance, it's a gift to rebound, and it's also to have a huge heart to want to really get in there and rebound. And that kid, she gets banged up like crazy, gets, poked in the eye, gets a stitch, gets this, gets that. She continues to keep coming back. And, her touch shooting wise is getting better. And, we still have 2 more years with her, which is great. So we're really looking for big things to happen with Erin. If you look at Treese didn't really play the year before too much. And she probably was our best offensive threat, probably our best athlete that we had on the court. And, we missed her those last 3 games. And, I think if we could have had her finish the season with us, we could have maybe won 1 or 2 more games. If you look what we did with Drexel, and Drexel ended up winning the regular season championship, co-champs, we had them for 35 minutes at their place on their heels, and you take away 14 points, we could have, maybe stole that game. So Treese is going to do great things for us too. And just a junior as well. And then there's Tyler that, runs our point. And, I guess they used to say she turned the ball over like crazy. But, now she takes care of the rock. She could shoot it. Tyler needs to get a little bit of help, from some new players coming in, because it's really tough for a point guard to play for 40 minutes without getting a break. And then we have Maddie, who's also going to be a junior that, back and forth gave us good minutes. So, we're looking forward to those solid sophomores becoming juniors and really being able to help. And then we have Taylor Williams, who was a freshman that we brought in from Daytona Beach that was on the all-rookie team. And, Taylor, if there's anything I could say, that she was a little bit inconsistent, but boy, she has some talent, and when she wants to really play, she can get it done. But to pretty much play as a freshman and start, that's good minutes under her belt. And, the best thing about a freshman that we always say is becoming a sophomore. So, just with that key grouping coming back next year, staying healthy and, taking us to the next level.
Coach, with last year being your first year in the CAA, what were your thoughts about the conference? And I want to really highlight Drexel because you mentioned them. They won the regular season. But, Coach, you beat them thoroughly here at TD Arena this past season. And as you just said, had them on the ropes at their place. Just your overall thoughts about the CAA. Is it what you expected, a little tougher, not as tough, or just your thoughts?
Well, there's a lot of great teams in the conference. coaches that coach them very well. There's no easy win. So that's the best part about our conference is it's competitive. They're coached well. There's great players. And, we went in, just not really knowing. Even when we go on trips to travel, to go into new gyms and, just to get through that first year was nice to get that under a belt. So now we know what to expect, what it's like on the road. And, we didn't do as well on the road as we did at home, but it's just a matter of now we know, our kids know. I mean, we started our CAA conference out 2 games at home with Drexel and Delaware, and everybody in the conference thought, oh yeah, there's going to be a whooping. And, a funny story is with Delaware, one of our kids heard somebody on their bench say, hey, we didn't know. We thought Charleston was going to be horrible. What's this? And we're beating them by 20 points. So, it's just our kids, that was a good bar for us to measure. Like, see, you guys can really do it. You can get it done. Now, the thing that hurt us with our bench is that we really weren't that deep this year. So we'll change that every year we continue to recruit and when we sit down and talk about our next 5 new players that we're bringing in. But, I just think it's a great conference. We're 10th nationally out of 32 conferences, so it's a strong conference, the schedule is strong, and you got to make sure that you're consistent and you show up every single game. Otherwise, someone's going to knock you off.
All right, Coach, you mentioned that's the way to kind of establish that bench and kind of get that depth is adding to what you already have. Solid returners. You have 5 new ladies coming to the program next year. And, Coach, before we talk about them specifically, let's take a look at this highlight reel of the 5 incoming freshmen for the women's team this upcoming season. Very impressive, Coach. A chance to kind of see all the ladies in action. And I guess, Coach, let's start out with Chelsea Wooten, the guard out of Texas. I'm thinking, Coach, maybe you had your eye on her before you took the job at Charleston last year.
Well, it's definitely someone who is well known. You know, if you're looking at the state of Texas, and Chelsea's a combo guard. She can play the one. You saw her in the video playing the point guard, but you know, she can also play the two guard, and she was ranked 174th in the country. So, you know, it's a top 200 recruit, not just the state of Texas, but nationally that we're getting. And kind of reminds you, she's probably going to give me some gray hair because she does some fancy passing behind the back and, you know, things like that. But that's who she is. You know, so it's somebody that can score at all three levels. She can take you off the bounce, the mid-range, off the jumper, and she can shoot the three. And also, if you notice, that three sometimes is parking lot three. So they're going to have to legitimately come out and guard her because, you know, with our philosophy, if you're a three-point shooter and you have the shot, you better shoot. And, you know, she's our two guard and she has that shot, they're going to have to guard her. And if they do, our point guard has the ball and they can be able to dribble off that other defender's back. So it's going to be really nice in our system for dribble drive that she can, you know, take all those shots. And, you know, she just has great court vision. She's really a good passer too. So, you know, she's somebody that, you know, I know that I don't have a problem starting freshmen, and I believe that our returners understand that. So, you know, and they know, they go back and they look at videos and they try to see who we signed and they see what they can do. So they're working on their game because they don't want a freshman to come take their spot. And Chelsea has the ability to come in and play immediately and really put up some big numbers for us. So we're looking forward to getting her here. But, you know, she'll be definitely worth the price of admission just to see that kid play and especially to play for 4 years.
You know, Coach, it's kind of funny because I think back to a young man that as a freshman gave his head coach gray hair at a school called Davidson. And that young man happens to be Steph Curry, who I think he had like 10 turnovers in his first game as a freshman coach. But that worked out pretty well for Bob McKillop and the Wildcats. So hopefully you'll have the same success with Chelsea, maybe WNBA.
Yeah, definitely. She definitely is somebody that wants to play, you know, after college and play in the league. And, you know, I mean, to do that, you have to get playing time. You have to make your team win, and you have to get to the NCAA tournament to get national exposure. So that's the kind of kid that we're trying to recruit that is better than what we already have. Each single year, I'm trying to recruit better than my starters. So then if a starter is not in the mood, I can look down the bench and fill their spot. And, you know, once you get your spot taken, you may not get it back. So, you know, that's what we need to do to get this program, you know, to the next level. And it's not going to get there otherwise. You know, it's all about, you know, it's not really the X's and O's as much as the Jills and the Janes that make your team good. You can be a great coach or a horrible coach as long as you have the players. That makes you win a lot of games.
Amira Williams, 5'10" coach out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. When I read her bio, I'm like, that is absolutely a Robin Harmony type of player. Long, athletic, wing, can put it on the floor, shoot it. Just your thoughts on Amira Williams.
Absolutely. She's a kid that is probably going to be our best athlete. So Teresa's going to have to move over a little bit and make some room for Amira because she just is a freak athlete. She can take it off the bounce. She's a shot blocker, and a shot blocker that's nasty. She's going to throw it into the stands. We had a video that she sent us where she jumps 50 inches onto a box. So, you know, that's a pretty tough thing to do. You know, you say 29 inches is a pretty good vertical. Now, she was running and did it, but that's getting up. She can dunk a tennis ball. If we throw something up to her to alley-oop it and get it up to us to the rim, she'll dunk it. You know, and she's 5'8", and, you know, her ceiling, again, it hasn't even been tapped yet where, you know, she can play our style of game and she can play defense and she's relentless. She's never going to really quit. So this kid, you know, has another good shot at coming in and taking someone's job.
Now, Coach, the next recruit, very smart on your part, because as we know, the most important position on the basketball team was the point guard. That's your position of your coach. And so for you, Coach, you only have to remember one name for your point guards, because you have Tyler Gray coming in, 5'8" point guard you mentioned earlier for Tyler Collins. Got to give her a breather. Hopefully the other Tyler, I guess we'll go with TC and TG. Well, TG will be able to spell her and give her some minutes, some breaks as well.
Absolutely. Tyler Gray is a lefty. And, we kind of giggled to ourselves when we were recruiting her, like, it's going to make us crazy. The Gray and the Collins, we're just going to have to go by the last name. But, sometimes it's like a parent that has 15 kids. When you get mad at somebody, you're trying to get you say every single name until you get to the right name. So it's going to be one of those, what I'm talking to, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you come here, but it's that kid here. Now she can defend 94 feet. That's what we really liked about her. She can pick the ball up and keep it in front of her, and she loves it. Great court vision, a good passer, and even something that I like as point guards, when you get a point guard that's lefty, it's a lot harder to guard them. So, another kid that's going to come in here and do really good things for us. And, she comes from a really good high school program and knows how to win, and probably went the furthest of the whole 5 that we signed into the state tournament.
So important for girls to expect to win, not hope to win, and you kind of bring that mentality into the locker room. Good things are bound to happen, Coach. And I want to ask you about Amira McGarity as well, a 6'1" wing. Again, we go back to the Lone Star State. You tapping into those roots and an opportunity to bring together another young lady to Charleston.
Yeah, San Antonio. She's comes from a really good AAU program, and we know that this program, when we get their players, they're ready to play immediately. And she is 6'1", and she can shoot the 3, and she's just a great shooter. Passes the ball well, and she's somebody that I watched. The fun part for us is when we get to go watch a kid that we signed play, because you can just sit back like, yep, that's mine. Yep, that player's coming to us. And she did a bounce pass that was the length of the floor, on the money. And I was like, wow, stuff that you don't always see, when you're recruiting them with AAU ball, because there's so many other great players playing with them. But Annika can shoot the ball, and, she is 6'1". So it's something that she'll be able to work in our press, and it is nice to have. And she'll play a 4 for us, which, will be a stretch 4. And, with our same thing with our dribble drive, it'll be somebody to kick it that really can knock it down. So that's her specialty, is shooting. And, I kind of changed my philosophy a little bit too with some of these players, because I'm tired of all my friends saying, Coach, do you have any shooters on your team? So I told my friends, don't worry, I'm going to recruit shooters, and it's, you got to put the ball in the basket. So Annika is that kid that, wants to come to play, comes from a great program. And, being 6'1" sure doesn't hurt, especially in the CAA conference.
Well, having a stretch 4 and all these shooters, Coach, sometimes, unfortunately, the ball doesn't go in the rim, and that's when you need a Aaron Edie or someone else to get the rebound and get the putbacks. And, of course, your tallest signee, Zoe McCrary, 6'2", once again, they're from Texas. She'll be joining the Cougars as well, and kind of gives you that size that you are looking for underneath.
She is. She's a great, she's like all airport when you see her. She comes from great lineage. Both her parents were Division I college basketball players, and she has good hands. She can play with it back to the basket. She also can shoot the 3. She does have that range. Obviously, it's not what we want her to do, and she's a great rebounder. And, a lot of times when you say someone's 6'2", they're really 6 foot. They put their shoes on and get to be 6'2". But this kid is legit 6'2" and long arms to go with it. That almost really makes her like 6'4". And she's real raw. You talk about somebody that the type of ceiling we don't know. I mean, she hasn't even begun to reach her potential. But by having great hands and being able to move, that when have her in our press, she can come out and guard anybody. She can guard a guard. So that's the big thing that we're looking for. And Aaron Edie does need some breaks, and we graduated a senior that would give her some breaks. So we were desperate to find a post player that fits our system, and Zoe just hits it. She was a late signee, and we think that she's going to be a really good get.
So, Coach, I'm assuming competition and practice will be a little fierce this year because now you are bringing in a great group of young ladies and also a good, solid nucleus of returners. Coach, as much as you can, kind of let us know about the schedule that we'll have next year for the ladies, including maybe some teams that are coming to TD Arena for the Cougar Nation to be able to watch this.
Well, I think that it's really important for us to play a really tough non-conference schedule. Balance that we can get some wins and we can, get our confidence, but we want to play, some of the best teams too in the nation. And, with women's basketball, it's hard to get those teams to come play you in your arena. But we're going to go to Oregon this year and play the Ducks, who would have had a really good shot of being in the Final Four. And then the University of Miami. So we'll be able to, go and let the kids go to Cannon Beach and in Oregon and, have a sightseeing day of, let them see what it's like other places, because some of them may never ever get back there. And then down to Miami to go to South Beach and Lincoln Road and maybe get some Cuban food. The coaches are going to lean that way. But, we want to bring in talent that our kids they want to play against, and they want to get prepared for our conference. And by playing teams like that, I think that'll really help us, get ready for our conference play with non-conference. And, and I think with our fans, once they come and watch us one time, they'll come back, and that's something that, we'll talk about later, I'm sure. But, it's a secret that we have going on right now with women's basketball. When you come watch us play, it's below the rim. And except for if you get with Amira, because Amira may surprise people and have some ESPN highlights. We do a couple alley hoops up to her and she dunks it at 5'7". It'll be a big wow. So we're just trying to do this the right way and get in this winning track. And it is all about these kind of kids and let them have a great college experience of not only at the College of Charleston, where academically it's great, we're 250 years old, but athletically, we're going to play some of the best teams in the country.
I tell you what, Coach, I had the opportunity to bring my daughter and her basketball team, and it's really to talk around town is some more of the recreation teams and the middle school teams wanting to come see you ladies play. And I think you're just scratching the surface, because I think bigger and better days are obviously ahead for this basketball program, and it's just an exciting time to be a part of Lady Cougar basketball. So, Coach, I guess before we go, Coach, have you picked up any talents, any hobbies, anything, while you've been home over the last 8-9 weeks?
I'll tell you, it's for someone like me that I don't really sit still well. This is a tough time where, I like to always be moving and do this and do that. And, I just have been working on my house, landscaping, and, and I don't like to go to the grocery store, and I don't like to fold laundry, and I don't like to do all these things, but, I'm forced to do it now. And now I'm also trying to get my taxes ready for my accountant. And that's one of those, every day I fight myself, I'll do it tomorrow. I would be a really bad role model when it comes to doing that. But, I've been out kayaking, I've been fishing one time, didn't really catch anything, but, it's just so beautiful here that it's just so many things to do, whether it's riding your bike, walking, exercising, really so you don't go crazy. And, with us, we have been recruiting our 21 class a little differently, because we should have been two evaluation periods that we missed. And then July is coming right up that we're not going to be on the road again. So we've had to change the way we recruit by, you don't really see them. You see them on video. You already know about them, but, it's not the same sitting in the front row of the gym. So it's on the telephone. And, sometimes I have to charge my phone 4 or 5 times a day just to, keep it going. And that's because we're trying to get even better than these 5 recruits we just signed. So, and we tell them when we recruit them, we're going to try to recruit somebody better than you. And, just staying busy, that's all we can do. And talking to friends, family, keep making sure that our players are happy and healthy. And, we know that they're home with their parents and they're safe. So that's what's important. Doing our Zoom calls with our athletic department and, just making sure our kids are finishing strong, which they did. And I'm sure that they're happy that the semester's over. And we're just trying to wait to see when and if we're going to bring them back for summer access so we can get those 8 hours a week with them and, get back in that gym.
I imagine they're just as eager to get back to Charleston as you are to have them here. So, Coach, we really appreciate you taking some time and joining us on Chatting with the Cougars. And I guess once all of this blows over, Coach, maybe in August, we'll catch up with you again and try to just see where the girls are now and maybe kind of just get to know some of the new freshmen once they're on campus. So, Coach, again, thank you so much. And you have a great rest of your summer.
That sounds great, and you guys stay safe, and can't wait to see everyone again and get back at this. Go Cougs.
All right, that's Robin Harmony, the head women's basketball coach here at the College of Charleston, joining us on Chatting with the Cougars. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.